Welcome to our tutorial to make our pincushion from the April Ginger Quilter box. You probably opened this up and thought to yourself, what the heck is that? It's a pincushion! Look how fun this is. So we've got our green fabric with some hand embroidered kind of Sashiko style embroidery. And then we're gonna stuff it and put it in our cute little pincushion bowl to make this darling little accessory that you can use. Great notion. It's a good size for travel and it's a lot of fun to make. So I hope you guys will have fun making this with me and using it in your sewing and quilting life. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's start by gathering up all our supplies that we're gonna need. These are the things that came in your kit. The only thing that you're gonna need other than this is just a smidge of polyfill to make your little pillow puffy thing here. Or if you wanna use, say, walnuts or something like that to stuff your pincushion. And then you'll also need some glue just to glue down the puffy part. So start with your embroidery floss. Now, this whole thing comes with a whole bunch of pieces of embroidery floss. So just pull out one and you are, it came with a whole lot of embroidery floss. I don't think you're gonna need a fraction of that, but, so you see how the embroidery floss has these individual strings? You wanna separate two of those. So I pulled out two, just kind of separated like this, and then I'm gonna unravel this all the way down, keeping my two separate and pulling out those embroidery threads. If you've never done this before, it can feel kind of frustrating and you might create a knot in your thread. If you do, that's okay. You just either work it out or you can trim it and try again. I mean, we've got lots of thread to work with here. And it just takes a second to separate these out and unravel them. Okay, so here's you can set aside the piece that still has 4 strings together. Just set that aside, we don't need it right now. Save that for later. Okay, so now I've got my 2 threads together and I'm just gonna thread my needle, whoops, and hopefully not lose it off the end of the table. Now is the tricky part to see if I can thread this on camera. I always struggle threading needles on camera. Okay, I did finally get it. Alright, so now look at your little fabric and you can see that there is an outline printed on your fabric. This is, I'm thinking of my dad right now because he is red-green colorblind, and if you are colorblind, there's no way in heck you're gonna see this. So I hope you're not colorblind, but you can see the design and we're just gonna stitch through that and make our cute little design. So I'm through the like tic-tac-toe lines, I'm gonna do a back stitch just to make those solid. If you had a little embroidery hoop, you could use that for this. I don't think I do, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna freehand this. Well, I'm not freehanding it because I have my little pattern, but I'm just gonna do it without the hoop. So just like this, I'm gonna come up past, see how I have, let's see if I can get closer. Okay, I'm gonna come up past where I want this stitch to go. Right here. Pull it through. And then I'm gonna go back down where I want it to connect. And I am not an embroidery expert. I'm sure there's only 3 million wonderful tutorials on the internet of how to embroider, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I know how to do and stitch on the straight lines, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do on the circles. All right, I finished the straight lines. And then now I'm onto my little circles, and you can see how they're drawn on, and I showed you how I did this. This is a satin stitch. So also as a note, I cut my embroidery floss in half just to be shorter, because I was finding that the long pieces were kind of annoying to work with. So okay, so what I've done here is I'm going to choose a circle and just start kind of in the middle on one of the edges, and then I'm just going to make long stitches all the way across the circle like that, and then come back up right here next to the first entry point, and then go right on down and just make these long stitches all the way across my circle. And if you make it more dense, you can kind of get a more exact shape, or if you make them more loose, they kind of just, you know, they have that looser style. Mine aren't super dense, see? And that's okay, that doesn't bother me. Although, I want an extra stitch in that one. That one's a little too sparse. So if you decide you don't like how far they are spaced, you can do an extra stitch in the middle. And we just kind of taper it down, following the circles, the lines of the circle. And eventually you're going to get this kind of shape. Now I'm going to go on the other half of my circle that I haven't done yet. And we're just making these long satin stitches. Whoops. Just like this. And you're going to repeat that for all the circles on your fabric that are traced. And then you'll be ready to make your pincushion. So there you go. You can tell my other ones were kind of nicer because I wasn't doing it on camera, but this is good enough. We're going to keep at it, and I'm going to finish all these circles until we're done. Okay, I am done with my embroidery on my fabric, and I'm going to be honest, this took a minute. I did it over a couple days, and I just kind of did it while I was listening to other things, but yeah, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. And I would say while you're doing it, trust the process, because it, you know, any one individual little circle looks a little janky, but it all together, I think it looks really cute, and I like the effect that it has created. Okay, so now we want to close up our little circle here, and see all the way around here, there is a printed circle. So we're just gonna follow that with a running stitch. And I've gotten some new thread on my needle, and I have this, I just grabbed one of the leftover pieces. This has 4 strands in it, and I just decided, yeah, going around the outside, maybe we want it a little stronger. I don't know that it needs to be. 2 strands would be totally fine, but I just didn't feel like separating out another piece. Okay, so see, we're just gonna go up and down here. And this is called a running stitch. We're gonna go all the way around our circle. Don't pull it tight yet. You just want it to go up and down, in and out, all the way around that circle. Okay, so we're all done with our circle, and what we want to do is trim around the outside. Give it, yeah, maybe like a 1/4 inch on the outside of our circle. Careful that you don't cut this yet. We don't want to cut our threads because we're going to use those to pull it tight. So just be careful as you go around. Okay. And now we're gonna flip it onto its back so that the back side is showing. And you know how some people can make the back of their embroidery look as good as the front? I'm not one of those people. Okay, so now we're gonna get a little bit of polyfill. I don't know how much, just eyeball it. And you know what, maybe what we ought to do first is pull our threads a little bit to gather it, just so it makes a little bowl, kind of. That way we have somewhere for our fluff to go. Okay, so see I have a little bowl here. Now I'm gonna fill it with my polyfill. Yeah, that's much better. And again, just fill it as full as you want. I do want mine kind of firm. I like a dense pincushion. But now I'm gonna pull my threads, and let's see. Yeah, I want a little bit more. So what's nice is you can kind of just keep adding. And you could use walnut shells for this. I know some people do like sand for pin cushions. So any kind of pin cushion filling that you normally use, you can do. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cute little round pillow here. So now I'm just gonna tie these off. And actually, I could probably just tie it like an overhand knot. I don't even really need a needle. Just like that. All right, maybe the needle would have been helpful. Or I need my daughters to come and stick their finger on my knot to hold it together. Okay, there we go. So now we have our squishy little pillow here with the cute embroidery on top. And the hard part's over. Now, oh, you know what? I probably should have checked to make sure it was small enough for this, but there we go. Look how cute! So we're gonna shove it in here and we just wanna glue it, okay? I went to go get my glue gun, hot glue gun, and of course, as it always is, I could not find the glue sticks. So this is B7000. This actually was for some rhinestones that I had. I got this little like rhinestone kit, and this was the glue that came with it. So I have no idea if this is gonna work well, but any super glue, of course there's like a glob here, fabric glue, hot glue, that is gonna work. Okay, let's see what we can get out of here. It is not cooperating. All right, let's try that again. All right, well, you might have to take my word for it on the gluing part. This glue does not want to come out. I know there's stuff in there. Just has this little itty bitty opening. All right, well, let's pretend that I glued that really, really well. And there we go. You can kind of push it down and mold it into the shape you want. And there is our cute little pincushion. It looks like a little succulent. I love it. And I love the embroidery. Let me grab some pins and I'll show you what it looks like when it's really being used. Oh, adorable. Oh, I even have green pins to match. Ta-da! There! Oh, I love it. I think that's so cute. And I am actually going to glue it better, but for the sake of the video, I won't make you watch me squeeze the glue. Okay, so that is how you make your cute little pincushion that you got in your April Ginger Quilter box. I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you wanted to get like extra creative, you could put different embroidery on it. You could do any kind of embroidery you wanted. And okay, that concludes our tutorial. I hope you enjoy it.